Test, 1, 2, 3. Okay, recording. Hello everyone, Pimsky here. Today I'm gonna be recording a guide to killing Exiles. Now if you don't know what Exiles is, I suggest you maybe don't watch this video to not spoil yourself. It's a relatively early game though, so this video will hopefully not contain too many spoilers. That having been said, so what am I gonna do this video? I'm gonna try to show you one of my strategies for killing exiles. Now, important to note is that killing exiles is not viable in every run. Um, and just to underline this statement, I just did another recording, and after the first 10 minutes, I found out that exiles was in -10 mines, and I already was down to a 100 core. So yeah, it doesn't always work out, but I'm going to be trying to show you a method that mostly works out for me. Almost fully consistent if it spawns on -9, and you still have a chance even on -10. Alright, that having been said, I'm going to get started. I'm not going to be explaining every single aspect of what I'm doing. Mostly just the stuff that's directly related to killing exiles. Alright, this is not a great start. Like, I'd really like to have kinetic weapons, and also this isn't great, but we'll see how it goes. Medium storage unit is good, I'll take that. Large storage units are good. Now there's grunts on their way here. Branch access is super important. Terminal index maybe helps a little bit. Let's see. First I'm gonna go for Trojan botnet. I'm probably gonna be exploring a lot anyway, and it's easy to do that in 0. So I don't think we need terminal index. I'm gonna go for analysis grunt. Yes, this is actually super useful because one of our main resources for being able to defeat, well, exiles, but BRAWN specifically, is core health. And getting analyses like this early game, when pretty much every enemy is a mercenary, like a grunt, is super powerful. I'm also gonna try to get analysis farmer. Unfortunately, that didn't work. In that case, recall investigation. Oh, yeah, so it didn't work either. So now there's 2 squads looking for us, which is, well, say, put it mildly, less than ideal, but we'll figure something out. Oh, I meant to shoot this guy. Also, I probably shouldn't be using my EM laser at this range. Okay, well, we're gonna take some damage. Oh, we're overheating a bit, so I'll wait first. There's still another squad on their way here. There's not much I can do about it. I do want to be killing these haulers. Ooh, this one actually had light armor. Okay, that's really good. Gonna swap in some extra storage. Drop this. I want the light armor plating. I want the treads. I want more light armor plating. Now I'm not usually a fan of cannons, but they're probably still better than running double energy weapons. Energy weapons early game are a bit problematic because in order to properly use them, we need heat sinks as well. And I need to carry a lot of stuff to be able to beat Exiles and BRAWN in particular. So I don't have room for both the storage and the heat sinks. Now, this is actually good because it means we're getting some decent guns, light assault rifles. Also gonna be swapping out these for treads. Nice. Okay, so we know there's traps here, but there's probably only 3, I'm guessing. We'll be fine. Oh, okay. We got a little bit corrupted. It's okay though. I have most of the stuff I want. I would ideally like to have more kinetic weapons. Let's see. Uh, and I need explosives as well, actually, so I'm gonna stick around a little bit longer. Now, if you're trying to kill exiles, that's super hard to do, right? So you have to play through your outs a little bit. So I'm going to work under the assumption that exiles is probably on -9 instead of on this floor or on this depth. So I'm gonna stay here a little bit longer to get some extra stuff that I need. Actually, I also want prototype ID bank. Yeah, improved assault rifle was one of the 2 things I was specifically looking for. The other one being improved flight unit. Okay. Uh, okay, so they called a bunch of squads on me, which is not great. Light assault rifle, light assault rifle. Okay, maybe it was worth it. Let's see. Now I like having one wheel to quickly reposition myself. Super useful for mines. Other than that, let's maybe get rid of that. Wait, this is almost broken, right? But I really hate EM weapons because of the engine explosions. You can just damage yourself a lot. Yeah, okay, figured as much. This is a good spot to fight them, so this is fine. And I have the right weapons equipped. Um, I'm not sure if I already mentioned this or if I mentioned this last run, but I'm using like one thermal weapon and one kinetic weapon in conjunction with one another. And reasoning for that is if I use 2 thermal weapons, I'm gonna overheat because I don't have heat sinks. If I use 2 kinetic weapons, I'm gonna be losing kinetic weapons too quickly because I want to save those for actually trying to fight them. Not this one actually because it's a cannon. Cannons have bad salvage, and then if I don't get bronze parts, that sort of defeats the purpose of fighting them in the first place. I'll drop this. I don't think we need a backup engine. I can just run on less energy and be fine. I could kill these guys racking sweets, but I'm not gonna bother because my inventory is already pretty much filled. Oh wait, I could equip another storage unit. I'm not gonna bother. So I think we're leaving. I still don't have an explosive weapon though. I would like to have a grenade launcher. I'm gonna stick around for a little bit longer, try and see if I can find something. We thread, so we just walk through everything and anything. Corruption here is annoying, but we'll probably manage. Improved plant unit. Oh, this is actually precisely the 2 prototypes I wanted. So then there's probably not much reason to go for prototype IDs anymore. I think we got all the hacks off that were useful at this point. I think there might be another crown for my tail, yeah. And that guy called someone as well. There we go, particle guns, huh, interesting. Particle guns are just a better version of some of these. Let's see. Drop this. I really dislike cannons, which might be a bit weird, seeing as they're working so well for us right now, but the lower salvage makes them actually very bad in a lot of situations. I'll take another medium laser. High capacity storage is great. I'll take that. I'll take the route through here. Assault rifle is good. We can take that. Let's see. That's reminds us. Quickly gonna check over here as well. Medium storage, we already had one of those. That one was undamaged, right? Oh, it's not. Data jack is slightly useful for getting the ID on Exiles items. But I already know what items they're carrying, so I can just reason it out myself. So then there's not, like, it's useful for example, BRAWN is an experimental targeting computer. And then if I ever find another experimental targeting computer, I will know what it is, even if I haven't equipped the other one. Okay, yeah, we full explored maps. Now you don't need to do this if you don't feel comfortable doing it. It's not necessary to fully explore, but I think in this case it's slightly more optimal because I really would have liked to find a launcher, and by exploring this much, I get slightly better chances of that. Now definitely, if you go into -10 mines and exiles aren't there, so you know they're on the um, -9 depth. Let me just do this. If you know exiles are on -9 and you're in -9 mats, you definitely don't want to full explore, even if it means you're missing things like a launcher, etc. Now it's hard to do such general statements, to make such general statements in this game, but yeah, I would say that very generally it's better to cut your losses and at least preserve your core. Because if all you're going for is killing exiles, there's still a chance you get like Deus Ex Machina and you get crazy good exile stash, or you get one of the good items from from mines, or you get, for example, blade traps. You can find those in mines, which defeat BRAWN super easily. But almost in all cases, for almost all strategies, you need to have a lot of core to work with. So if all you're wanting to do is kill exiles, then the most important thing you can do is to preserve core at the depth where exile spawns. I'm just very much hoping that it's not on this depth. Yes. Okay, we got lucky. It's a coin flip pretty much. It can spawn here or somewhere else. You get like a message next to this goal escape. We didn't get the message this time. I think it is something is scanning you or whatever. The fact that we didn't get the message means that exile spawns on the next depth. So now what we want to do is we just want to get out of here. Because we don't, right now, we don't have an explosive weapon. And there's one event in mines that can happen, which spawns assembled. And it's very hard to deal with that event without using explosive weapons. There's a couple of things we could find here in mines that would help enormously for killing exiles. They're pretty rare. So one of them is, like I said, the blade traps. I mentioned those earlier. There's other types of traps you can get as well. Stasis traps, for example, are super useful. You can use those on yourself, so just stand in them, activate them, and they will effectively shield you. And since you're not moving while attacking BRAWN, that's super good. Let's see, we found the exit. Well, I did say we wanted to exit as quickly as possible, but on the other hand, there's also stuff we could be greedy for. So the question we then ask ourselves is, do we believe we can kill exiles without being greedy? I have a fairly decent setup, actually. But not amazing. So I'm gonna greed a little bit and try and see if I can explore a little bit more. I know now where one of the exits is, so I can use that to avoid, because if you get the assembled event, oh yeah, actually, if you get the assembled event, demolishers spawn from the exit. So if you know where the exit is, it's slightly easier to just avoid them. Can't multitask. Oh, we're overheating. It's fine now. Grab one of these. Now I also get to show off some of the other stuff. We have enough guns, so I'm gonna start throwing out the worst ones, and the ones I dislike the most are the cannons. Yeah, and now I can also show off some events in mines and how you deal with them. This one I got from another streamer. I think it might have been Volgaris. He uses good streams, by the way. You should check those out. You can stand diagonally to this door. Okay, nothing happens. So inside here, there's two sentries, and they have stuff we might want. This event can spawn in two ways. Either when you get to this door, backup arrives, and like some other derelicts help you out, or they don't. But the trigger for backup arriving also happens if you stand diagonally to the door, even if the door doesn't open. So what I'm saying is, you can check whether you receive backup or not, without actually having to commit to fighting the guys that are inside. So that's useful for that event. I'm just gonna explore some more and see how much core I have left and potentially come back later. Okay, this is interesting. I'm gonna take it, I think, because I have so much weapons that I think I can drop one, which means I have enough space to take this. That's the experimental sensor array event. Excuse me. Oh, yikes. And these guys are stupid, so I can just fight them one by one. Particle gun is better than laser. That's an upgrade also. There we go. Small laser. I think we're fine. Yeah, so these grunts aren't much of an issue. There's the other exit. It's good to know. That means it's super easy to avoid demolishers, relatively speaking. So I also feel a bit safer exploring a little bit more. I actually want to fight these guys for the guns. Still confident enough in my core that it's fine. Losing the threats hurts though. Let's see. Nether pods are actually kind of useful, but usually Exiles has them as well. So I'm not gonna bother too much with it. Now you might be wondering why I'm testing so many light assault rifles, and if I'm actually gonna be using all of those. The answer is potentially yes, because they're, in my opinion, and well, opinions vary a lot. This game is pretty balanced, so there's multiple viable strategies. Um, but in my opinion, they're test. Sorry about that. I got interrupted. What was I saying? I forgot. Um, right, yeah, I was explaining why I have so many light assault rifles. So I think they're probably the best, or like just generally assault rifles and their higher tier counterparts, etc. They're the best for doing materials, and they're also one of the best weapons against BRAWN, or the most reliable ones, if you have some armor in conjunction with them. So that's why I'm taking all these. And like BRAWN shoots off your guns quite a lot, so it's best to have like 4 or 5 at least as backups. Mm, I'm gonna fight these guys because they have good parts. This one is refusing to die, which is unfortunate. Okay. Now we're in a better position. There. So we get heavy assault rifles, which are pretty much the weapon I want to fight BRAWN with. They're very good. Then that means we probably can get rid of this, grab one of these, grab this. What else do we have? So there's 2 armors. Armors are great as well. One more treads. Could think about repairing that one, but instead I'm just gonna swap it. Saves us some inventory management woes. Let's see. Can probably get rid of one, then I should get rid of the most damaged one. Light armor plating. Um, 3 of these. Let's see, I'm gonna be using more, so I can probably drop one. In which case it should be that one because it's damaged. And then I grab more. Yeah, okay, I think I'm done with inventory management. So then we just head to the exit. Which one's closer? Doesn't really matter. I'm not sure where those guys are coming from. Oh, oops. This is annoying. Okay, well, I probably could have handled that a bit better in terms of positioning. We're very low on core, so let's head out of here. I was a bit greedy staying that long. Alright. I'm gonna evolve 2 utility slots. There's a couple of reasons for that. So first of all, storage for when getting into Exiles. There's a lot of parts I want to take into Exiles to be able to fight BRAWN, and I need a lot of storage in order to do it. Having multiple utility slots helps with that. Second thing, when I'm fighting BRAWN, I still want to have some storage equipped for my backup parts, and I want to have armor equipped. So for those, I also need the utility slots. Third reason, the main motivation to fight Exiles in the first place is for their loot. If you want to carry that loot out of there, and you're thinking of a scenario where, well, you get a decent amount of good loot, you also want a lot of storage. So, in my personal opinion, It would be very, very strange to try and fight Exiles on -9 without evolving to utility. I think this is almost always what you want, unless you're doing something drastically different where you specifically only want some parts or something. I don't know. I think in overwhelmingly large amount of scenarios, you just want storage, or you just want to evolve utility here. Let's see, storage, the exit, interesting. Um, that means we're not going to be able to go into storage on another floor because we definitely want to go into mines here. Armor treads are great. I'm just thinking whether I want to equip them right now or not. We can also equip one of our armors. So I want to preserve my core as much as possible right now. Which means I'm probably also doing this. That's honestly not great, but oh yikes. Let me just get into a position where I'm not gonna get ambushed by the swarmers. I just want to find the mines exit as quickly as possible. See, we're sort of in a corner of the map. No interpreter is sometimes helpful because mines exit can spawn in a way that it's hard to recognize them. Oh, okay, nice. We know where the mines exit is. In that case, let me just check manifests. This one is super good. This one is decent. Yeah, so there's some haulers that we'd like. Purge. Trode. Maybe traps locate. Next terminals. I'm just trying to think of stuff that's useful to hack for still. Mine is down there. Okay, that's relatively close. Okay, we sniped those guys. Kinetic weapons are just amazing. There we go. Improved assault rifle. That's super good actually. I want to try and kill that guy as well if I can. Oh wow, okay, we immediately got all haulers that I wanted, so that's crazy good. Now I want to take some stuff for after I get through Exiles as well. We have enough treads, I think. But maybe some of these are less damaged. Why can't I move? Oh, I was pressing the wrong button. That's a good reason. Let's see. That guy's gonna shoot me. Oh, yikes. Can move over here. Now, one thing I probably should be doing is equipping these. And this is just generally true. If you have good weapons, using them right away will kill stuff faster, which means you lose less other parts as well. So generally using your best weapons first, unless you're saving them for something specific, better in terms of attrition. Just when I was in such a good position, I get bogged down, and that happened. Nothing to do about it. It's okay. Yeah. Advanced signal interpreter. I could drop some guns. And like I said, I don't want to use impact weapons against BRAWN. So I don't want the gravity neutralizing apparatuses to take damage. I think, or did I say that? I might have. Anyway, that's the reason I don't want to use impact. These are actually pretty decent weapons for killing him though. In general, melee is super good against BRAWN. It's probably the most reliable strat. But I'm gonna try to do the kinetic strat, because just also for purposes of this functioning as a guide, I think this is the most reliable way to do it, using stuff like improved and heavy assault rifles, because they're just so reliable to get. Something is scanning the area. Okay, so now we just need to find the Exiles exit. And also I need to be very afraid of assembled. I want to... Oh, right, we don't have a explosive weapon yet. I completely forgot about that. And that's stupid. Okay, so I should have stayed... Plasma cutter is interesting. I should have stayed in mats a little bit longer to try and look for an explosive weapon. I kind of forgot about that. That's stupid. Plasma cutter is interesting because it has massive positive salvage. So this is generally good for if you want to kill something for its parts, which we're definitely doing in the case of BRAWN. On the other hand, I'm not sure if I'll have the leisure during the fight actually. Like, I might have to kill him as quickly as possible in order to just not die, but I'll take it anyway. I think we can afford to spend one slot on it. Mini grenade launcher. Yes. Okay, that might save this. Can I afford to drop one large storage unit? Maybe, maybe not. I can also just equip it. Oh. Oops. Is this the Exiles exit? No. Improved targeting computer is useful. I'll take that. The Exiles exit has a very specific layout. Blaster, interesting. We can take it anyway, but the range on this is 10 and the range on this is 14, and the extra range is actually super useful. So yeah, so you see, like if your core is low and you just leave, that's sometimes better because you can still find some of the tools you need in mines. Right, so then we're gonna check out this way. Oh, unfortunate for them. Haha. Just kidding. Finding exiles can sometimes take a while. I think this is it. Yep, nice. You can sort of tell by the little turn in the corridor. And also close to the map edge. Right, there's a couple of events we could still have that would help, but there's also still the assembled event, which is super scary, so we're just gonna leave. I would lose a ton of core to that. I'm just gonna do this on autopilot because I've done this 100,000 times and the level's the same anyway. Every time. There's the matter pods. I'll take a storage unit as well. Now, what I'm doing right now is I'm setting this area up for the fight, and you'll see in a bit why I put this here. But basically, if we stand here and attack these guys first using explosive weapons, we can take all of them out super quickly, which will save us a ton of damage. And then by the time BRAWN gets around the corner, we're ready to fight him on his own. Also, because of that, it's nice to move these beforehand. And then since we're going to be exiting through here, I can just leave the stuff I don't need right now in this place. and that will help a little bit in terms of storage. Let's see, DEC. How do you pronounce that? Deck? Des? Des, I guess. I'm not sure. Humbucks I don't like. Large storage unit, eh. I'll take the matter pods. Now, one thing you might notice me doing is doing all this management. Actually, yeah, in terms of that, I screwed up, but whatever. I'm doing all this management before entering the vault. There's one specific event where entering the vault triggers an attack, and then you have to leave right away because otherwise you just get killed. So you want, at the moment of entering the vault, you want to have your inventory and item management in such a way that you don't mind exiting right away. Actually, to do it 100% correctly, I'm just gonna... So I should have not done that part yet. But this means that if I don't get the event, I have to do extra item management, which is a bit annoying. But there we go. Let's open the vault. So what items do we get? This matters a lot for fighting BRAWN. Sometimes you get something useful and sometimes you don't. AWS Thermal is great. Cloak of Protection is great. OB10 Alert Chip is absolutely useless. So why is this so great? AWS Thermal is just a very good weapon. It doesn't work very well against BRAWN, but if you get his armor down, then this is a great weapon against him. So that's the main reason, I suppose. Let's see, I dropped something, I dropped this. Another reason why it's useful is that after aggroing Exiles and entering into mines, you can sometimes get a Z hero. And AWS Thermal can be super good for fighting Z heroes. So now we are doing our inventory management because we already know no attack will trigger. Just all the stuff I don't need for the fight, I'm leaving here. Protection is good. Let's see. We probably don't need all of these guns. I probably can drop one treads. And then we can drop this armor, drop this, equip that armor. Just the improved assault rifles equipped. So I'm just equipping as much armor as possible while leaving the stuff I need in inventory. Now then, how much core do these guys have? Do we have any idea? Core integrity 20. So I can't kill them with one shot of this, but I can kill them with one shot of this. Let me just see if the range works out. Yeah, so if I stand here, it's actually... Yeah, it's probably better to use the mini grenade launcher. So I'm gonna go with that one. Now with this setup, I don't think it's easy or possible to kill all of Exiles, because Des drops a turret that's hard to deal with. But we can at least kill BRAWN, probably. So I'm gonna go for that. We're in position, we have the right stuff equipped. Let's try it. So as you can see, this sort of stuff is super great for dealing with those guys. Then I'm gonna equip the improved assault rifle. It just takes one more shot. Yeah. Get some bonus stuff. Bronze already pretty low. Like, honestly, this is a great setup. Right, as soon as something breaks, just immediately replace it. because this fight takes a long time. It's better to replace it right away. Let's see. Prototype protection, what did we break? We broke his thermal protection. So we could switch to the AWS right now, but actually these two are pretty good. So I think I'll wait until at least one of them breaks. And that means swapping will also take less time. But maybe we'll just get it without anything to change the weapons, I mean. Right. I think we lost our last armor, yeah. This is why you have the targeting computer. So armor is generally better, but it's like a consumable. It just helps with a couple of shots. This helps with a lot of shots. It helps with the entire fight pretty much because it's unlikely that it will break as long as we have some other armor or anything. Or treads. Treads are also like super key for this. From the even from just the armor and the coverage they give, also in terms of the accuracy bonus. I don't know if other utility stuff to actually, since we're winning so hard, I am going to be using the plasma cutter. I'm going to just do like 3 or 4 attacks with this. And then I'm gonna de-equip this worm, switch over to the AWS. There we go. We got BRAWN. Good job. Yes. Okay, so that's how you kill BRAWN. The video is not completely over yet because we still have to escape from this place. So first of all, I'm gonna be taking his guns, which are absolutely amazing. Then I want to take a look at the other stuff that dropped. Gravity neutralizing apparatus. That's really good on fight. At this point in the game, that completely changes the way you can do your evolutions, etc. Just from having less propulsion slots because you can equip this. This is super efficient mod support at this point. Assemble neutralizer. That's good for some other spoilery stuff. This I'm not going to equip because it's a processor, but I know for a fact that this is an experimental targeting computer. Since that's the only processor BRAWN can drop. We actually even got his armor. This is his explosive stuff armor, I think. I'll get rid of the... Should I? No, I shouldn't because I'm gonna equip more storage. This is experimental heatsink. It's not super useful actually. Let's drop that for the time being. Now, since we prepared everything here, I can just go here and grab more armor. And actually I'm gonna equip this and equip even more armor. So we still need to take all of this stuff with us. It's good. Let's label that Express Armor for BRAWN for explosion resistance. Advanced Recalibrator is not bad, but not good enough that I'm gonna take it. Before we leave, we should stock up on matter. Yeah, I think we're ready to leave. I'm not gonna take the legs because I have good treads, and I like treads better. Now comes another difficult part. Also, if you have this equipped, that's fine, but don't leave it turned on, because every turn this thing is turned on, it has a chance to break itself. Actually, for that reason, the advanced recalibrator would be absolutely amazing, actually. Let's take that. That's not so bad, really. I should drop something. I'll get rid of one of our worst guns. Now there's a chance we get an event with Z Hero, and I'm actually sort of hoping that we will because it will be useful in terms of the guide. Yeah, strange signal echoes through the mines. That means we got a Z Hero event. I'm just gonna hang back here. Now I need to do inventory management. I should drop some stuff that I don't immediately need. I need to drop 2 more slots worth of stuff. Let's see. Gonna drop this and this. Then I can just drop the armor. Drop a large storage unit, grab this. So the Exiles hero is gonna come to us sooner or later anyway. If it's the explosive guy and we stand here on top of our stuff, we're screwed. But we pretty much always are if it's the explosive guy, so we're just hoping it's literally anyone else. And seems like it is. So that's good. So this is how you deal with killing exiles. I don't want to use explosives here because I don't want to damage the stuff that's on the ground. So I'm just going to keep using AWS. Also, as you can see, your core is fine actually, which is very rare for such a situation. De-equip this. Equip some large storage. Improved assault rifle, heavy assault rifle. Okay, this. Medium storage unit's useful. This is useful. This is useful. Anything else I want? Oh, this is a decent melee weapon actually. I guess this is fine. So now it's just a matter of exiting mines, which is honestly trivial. So I think I'm gonna end the video here. I hope you enjoyed. I hope that gives you a bit of an idea how you can reliably do or kill BRAWN at -9 at least. So I guess the main part is this sort of build, the slot distribution, and the fact that you can use kinetic weapons in this way. Also try and, if you have any trouble with it, a large part of it is just trying to optimize not losing any core in materials while trying to get as much of the stuff you need as you can. So just try it a couple of times, see how it works for you. I think this is a great way to sort of improve yourself as a player because this is a bit of a challenge, and also it can give you a very nice start to an otherwise boring run by giving you all these fun items to play around with. So thanks for watching. If you have any questions or suggestions for other things I should try and explain, just hit me up on Discord. I'm always around in the Cogmind chat, so just ping at Bimski, and I'll try and see if I can help you. Have a nice day, and talk to you later. Bye bye.